Hey folks, it's Stacy here from Homestead on the Hill, and today's project we're going to be putting the water pump and the radiator back in the old Bobcat 3400 side by side. What I've done is I've brought along my mechanical genius, Brian.
Hello.
Brian's here, and he was here to help me take this thing apart, and he's now here to help me put this thing back together. So, Brian just returned from a road trip, a month-long road trip to Texas, and he did a little barbecue tour. Brian, tell us in a few words. We'll catch up more later, but tell us quickly, what's your impression of Texas barbecue?
It's really good. It's worth the drive. That's it. And you know what? There's no man-made lakes in Texas. No, they're all man-made.
I was thinking that. Hold on a second. No, there's no natural lakes. Little known fact. There's no natural lakes in Texas. They're all man-made.
Yeah, and good barbecue.
And good barbecue. We'll talk later what Brian's favorite was. Now, we got to figure out. There's the water pump. We got to get all this, there it is right down there.
I think we might be able to do it all from the front. I was just thinking this may get in the way, but I think they may have left just enough room.
There you go. Actually, look at that. Oh, it's a beauty.
Good.
Okay. First things first, we loosened off down here the thing that holds the alternator in place so that we can take the tension off the belt, which goes from the water pump to the alternator or vice versa. So that's done. We've got to loosen off these nuts here, and when we try to loosen them, it spins it in the direction, we can't seem to hold it, so we're going to get an impact driver to see if that will work. Incoming with an impact driver. We didn't have an impact driver with us, so what we did was we pulled one way with one wrench and pushed the other way, so it gave tension against itself, and now we've got the water pump exposed. This here is the water pump, and it was a little bit of a beast to get it off because, well, it wasn't really hard, but anyway, this thing here goes into the crank, into the can I see there? Yeah. So yeah, it goes in. I think that's right there. Right? In this little bag here is the new thermostat and a bunch of the bolts to hold the whole thing together. And then pretend I'm just gonna, there you go. Just open that up. And there it is. In all its shiny glory. The new water pump.
The temperature probe.
Oh, okay. So you've put the that white stuff on it. There is
Teflon
the
tape.
Teflon tape. So it's like it's a water sealant type of keeps it from leaking.
It's a lubricant and a sealant.
A lubricant and a sealant. What more could you ask for other than barbecue? Okay. So now that that thermal probe goes into the new water pump. Hey, there's the old water pump. You always use the wrench that fits exactly right.
You try. Oh, I'm hitting this rubber thing on top.
Oh, okay. Let me get my big mitt in there. Do you want to bring it in this way, up first?
Actually, I could have.
There you go.
Yeah, hey.
My mechanical genius learned something from
you.
So we've got the new water pump going back in. Just tightening up some of these bolts that hold it in place. And it's important to not start on one side and go right to the other. I mean, you have to, what do you call it, Brian?
Alternate.
Yeah, so that you don't torque it up from one side.
So you always go to opposite sides.
Tighten there, tighten there.
And make sure there's no gaps.
Right, so you do it. We're just about ready to put the hoses on. So we're just gonna double check all the torque on them so that we have a nice tight fit. So I've got the new thermostat and it's gonna go in there. So Brian's let me be the guest of honor. So it goes in there and...
Yeah, you gotta go around to make sure that that rubber gasket is sitting flat in the little channel.
So like this thing here needs to be, oh, I think that's it.
Yeah, you end up chasing it around, but when it fits square.
It just popped right in.
Yeah, that's it, done. You got lucky, laddie.
That's what she said.
Okay, and then you can
put
that on top.
Then this goes back on here, and I've got 2 bolts. I'm gonna guess that the Woodsworth Longfellow goes on that side. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Brian, clean that surface up. There we go. Be gentle when you're screwing your bolts in, because if you force things, you end up with broken parts. Sometimes when things are stuck, an impatient young grasshopper will say, get a bigger bar.
And then you go to the bar.
Yeah, and you don't get any work done.
And then you end up with problems later.
Wrong one. Cut. See how Brian is now. We pulled the fan off of the old radiator, put the fan onto the new radiator, and we're going to attach the hoses. And when you tighten these things up lightly, because this is all very light gauge aluminum. Okay, we lowered the new radiator in, and underneath it there's a pin on the radiator that slips into a little spot, and that one in is one on the other side, and it just slid in there, slick as a whistle. Okay, moving up top. So down here, there's another water line reconnected onto the bottom of the new radiator, and the top line is connected here underneath Brian's arm. Okay, this is the front of the water pump, and this is the thing we got to try to prevent it from spinning as we tighten that up. So I'm going to pull the belt.
Yeah, put the belt here. You put it up around the alternator. There it is.
Okay. So we've got the new water pump installed. That's down here. The cap is on. The hoses are connected. Come out front here into the blazing heat like a mad dog. Radiator's in, the new radiator's in. Hoses are connected up here and down below. Overflows are connected. Next step, we're going to put in some water in the radiator. We're going to run water through it rather than coolant for the first little bit to make sure we flush the engine out. So we're putting water in the top of the radiator, and the water's coming out the end of the bottom of the block on the Yanmar 3-cylinder diesel. So we, this is another good one. We put water in, we pulled the thermostat off, which is there, and we used the funnel and put water in just to see if we could flush it through. And we found out that the water is leaking down here, probably cracked block. Cracked head is bad. Cracked block, I'd call that really bad. Could be. So that's it for Bobcat. I think Bobcat's kind of at a standstill for today.
Let's see if
we're just having a moment of silence for the sobriety of the situation. Yeah. We're speechless. Brian feels bad. What was your best barbecue memory?
The best barbecue memory
from the Texas trip. This most recent Texas trip.
That's hard to say. Probably sitting in snows and just watching them chill. Like when all the crowds were gone, it was awesome.
How many hours or days did you have to wait in line to get to the front of the line?
We didn't wait in line. We actually showed up after closing, and the owner said, "Hey, there's still food. Go in." So we did.
And you had a banana
pudding.
Banana pudding.
Yeah. And
you also got brisket.
Yeah, brisket.
To go.
Turkey, yeah, to go. So we picked up an order to go because they were officially closed by almost an hour, and that was it.
Beauty. Snows. Just in seeing, what's her name? Tootsie, right?
Tootsie and Carrie, the two of them together.
Yeah. Tootsie is the legend. She's 88 years old. Works every shift. And Carrie's the owner. Good stuff.
There you go.
Well, that's it's almost 4 o'clock. We've been at it since 11. Took a 5-minute lunch break. And we found out that more than likely there's a frost plug that's blowing on the side of the block, or it's not a frost plug, just a cracked block. Cracked block is like a pretty much what you call catastrophic failure. That's it for next week. That's it for this week. We didn't really have a success. I was hoping to be motoring down to Ed's place with Bobcat, but it's not to be. I don't even know what I'm going to do next week. I'm out of ideas right now. Anyway, that's it for this week. Like and subscribe. Be well, be kind. See you next week. Bye. Are you videoing?
Yeah, I just started.
Just do I look fat in these bibs?
No.
Do I look fat? You know, the camera always says.
It gives you thick ankles. That's about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. B-roll. Okay, start again.
Okay. Oh, you want me to stop and then restart?
Because this will be B-roll.